Welcome. Great to have you here on my little channel again. I'm back out in the forest and it's just beautiful afternoon leading into what I hope is going to be a beautiful evening and an opportunity for me just once again to spy out the land in advance of the autumn colour. I was kind of hoping we'd have a bit of that today, but it's not quite there yet. I think we're another, seems to be taking a long time to happen. I think we're another week or two really until we get to that. There's still a lot of green in the trees. It's just starting to turn still. I think last time I talked about this was probably a week ago, and so not a great deal has happened since. Anyway, so I've come out again just to see what I can find, spy things out. I also have a shot or two in mind, and I'm looking for trees that just really stand out. And at the moment I'm right beside a main road, the A35 that goes through the New Forest on the way towards Lyndhurst. And in front of me is this kind of intriguing little stand of silver birch. Let's see if I can point to them just here. And there's something about the way that this sort of late afternoon light is just catching them that I rather like. We're still a couple of hours away from sunset at the moment, but I have to say I think with the right light this could be quite nice, and particularly maybe again on a misty morning with a bit of separation from the background, they could look really gorgeous. So I hope you can't hear too much of the traffic noise, I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to carry on. I've taken a shot on this, and I'm at 200mm, and I'm just out only with my Nikon D750 and my long lens, the 70 to 200mm f2.8. I decided to leave the other lenses in the car for this part of my trip today, just to really force me to use that lens, because I haven't had it that long, and so I haven't done a lot of shooting at that focal length with the D750 yet. So it's an opportunity to just get to know it a bit better. And then I'm on my way towards a little brook that runs through the forest here. I'm probably another couple of 100 yards short of it, and I've driven past it many times and it's intrigued me. It just sort of snakes and meanders its way across the forest floor out in the open for a while, and so I just want to go and see if I think there might be a shot there. So I'll catch up with you again in a minute. Well, there's this little group of grazing horses behind me, and they've kind of rather taken my attention. There was something to do with the fact that they were being framed by these trees in the mid-ground that I rather liked, and the way they're just catching the sun, or the sun is just catching them. And it just put me in mind that I'm here with this 200mm maximum focal length Nikon or Nikkor lens, and I'm used to using the 600mm lens on my Sony RX10 Mark IV, which kind of makes you lazy. And so one of the things that this lens is doing is it's forcing me, even though we tend to think of 200mm as a long lens, it's forcing me to have to frame with my feet a lot more than I have been used to. So I want to get closer to these. But of course it's going to change something about the level of depth and compression in the shot compared to the RX10. But nevertheless, I'm quite enjoying having a different way of looking at the shot through this lens. So I'm just having a bit of a rethink about my shoot this evening. And one of the things that I've talked about before on my channel is the importance of shooting what's in front of you. We can get frustrated, I think, by the fact that quite often the things that we want to shoot are just out of reach. You know, the conditions aren't right, or not in the right part of the country, or whatever it happens to be. Anyway, I've come on a scout day and I found this scene here. There's plenty of water now in this small river, which there hasn't been for a while. And I'm looking now right towards where the moon is going to rise. And from this vantage point, it's going to rise and clear the horizon above the trees there, right behind or just to the right of this quite striking dead tree, or pair of dead trees. And there's something about it I think it's worth taking a shot of. So I'm going to use the long lens on this and see if I can. Well, I can't fill the frame with the moon with a 200mm lens, but I can make something of it. And I might bring the Sony along as well, because I can use a 600mm lens with that one, and really get a long compressed photograph here, where the moon takes up a much bigger part of the frame. So, talking of shooting what is in front of you, I was on the opposite bank of this river and I spotted this group of fungi here, and they just make this amazing little scene. It's just like a little village of fungi, and it's kind of like the tree stump is a mountain, and or rocks, and the fungi are the houses, and it's produced this lovely little scene here with this warm light on these rather warm brown orangey coloured fungi. I just love it. So I've taken some shots again with the 200 with the 70 to 200 on a range of different apertures, because I'm not really sure yet just how much of the background I want to be in or out of focus. So I'll decide that back in the studio, so to speak, in post-production. But it's just a magic little scene. I love it. Well, any minute now, the moon should appear over the horizon in front of me. No sign of it yet. 1849 it is due, which is right now, but we do have some trees on the horizon, so it's probably going to take a little while to clear those. Anyway, we shall see shortly whether or not this attempt at a composition is worth it at all. I have growing doubts about it. Time will tell. Well, I've got to say that is one of the stranger nights of photography that I have had, and I've actually loved every minute of it. Completely unexpected. So I've kind of fallen in love with this little pile of fungi here, and my attempts to catch the moonrise behind this decrepit tree to my right that's out of view now were an absolute complete farce and failure. And I learned I've got a lot to learn about how to put the moon in a shot and make anything sensible of it, and the way I did it tonight was not it. And yeah, so it's interesting, you see all these spectacular shots taken clearly with a very long lens, and where the moon is just looking absolutely amazing, and well, my shots are nowhere near that, so I may be able to make something of them when I get them back into Lightroom, I don't know, but nevertheless having been quite discouraged by my initial attempts to get a shot there, I thought I'd come back and do a bit of light painting with these fungi. And do you know what? If they come out half as good in Lightroom as they look on the back of the camera, I'm just going to be so chuffed. It's just a fantastic little mini-scape here that we've got in nature. And it looks, I've taken it from a very, very low angle with a reasonably long focal length, about 135, because I don't have a macro lens with me. And I got really, really right down low to the ground. I put the camera on the smallest tripod that I have. I'll show you. So this was the camera setup, just a very sturdy little tiny, completely flat tripod there with a Manfrotto stand, and that's as low as I could reliably get it. And the reason I went down that low, one was obviously these are really let down low, but they are up on a little mound, and that meant there was the possibility of getting the moon in the background, and I thought that would make such a cool composition. It looks like some kind of fairy tale shot. I just can't wait to see it on the computer. Anyway, I've enjoyed myself. It's not massively late. It's only about 8:20 in the evening. But that's great. I think my work is done here, and I'm going to go home and have a little bit of fun sorting out these pictures. And if I've got anything decent to show you, then I will do. In the meantime, thank you for joining me once again on one of my little mini adventures. You just never know what's going to happen. Isn't it great when you turn yourself into a bit of an opportunist photographer and you just shoot what's in front of you?